you love a bargain like me, then make sure you look in the description of this video where you'll find a link to Instant Gaming. As you can see on screen, you can get it for an absolute bargain right there. Both editions for seriously good money. I bought this game from there, honestly, more than happy with it. And as you can see, there's other games, plenty of, which may be to your liking, to help save you more money as well. Remember, the link is in the description. Thank you. Hello everybody and welcome to another MoisTea gaming video. And yes, that's right, I have purchased Empire Railroad 2 or whatever it's called. I did have the first one and I did enjoy it. Now this, after having a minor dabble, I found is absolutely spectacular. Honestly, I'm really enjoying this one. Just started the campaign. This is our first little train. As you can see, it is very nicely painted, brand new off the production line, and is absolutely glorious. You should see, hopefully, some other trains coming down here. We may end up seeing one coming down this hill. We are being told to stop, so it must be approaching. But yes, what do you think? Are you going to enjoy these videos? Because I'm certainly going to enjoy making them. Here we go. Here comes the other one. Just set up the very basic rail line. As you can see. Oh, look at this. It's absolutely beautiful. Here we go. Full of luggage. Absolutely splendid. And now that is clear. We can now proceed. I'm going to really enjoy this. I hope you will too, with me commenting on the gameplay and creative thinking. Going to be moving up to Portland here. This is the first actual line that we've managed to build. As you can see, all of our passengers are in here, looking a little bit odd as well. Now we can't actually go in there. As you can see, they're all very happy with their leisurely experience. But look at this man. Filthy. Working hard, he needs a pay rise, which we can actually do in this game. Honestly, this game is absolutely stunning. We could even have a look inside the cabbage cars, not cabbage cars, the cabins and everything else. Nearly here now. Set all of this up. Look at this. How good is this? Random animals running around. Game is absolutely stunning. We have a look. We'll get off the train now. Once watched it, get over here, earn some pennies. That is Portland, and this is where we are. This is the first mission on the campaign. The Vasts, if you've ever played the previous one, are absolutely massive. Oh, here we go. The Flamingo, which is the other network, the one that we've just seen, has managed to do a speed record. However, this is coming up that we have just purchased the other one.
What we're doing.
I wish I could do the camera a little bit smoother, but it is what it is at this point. But just look, it's absolutely stunning. I've got it currently paused so I don't have to miss anything, because I do want to be setting other bits up. All of these people frozen in time. We've got our trains chuffing along. It's frozen in time. You can still hear it chuffing away though. All of these stop signs in the first one were an absolute nightmare to do. But in this, it's all automatically done for you. As long as you set the rail right, it does it for you, which is just absolutely marvellous. Honestly, it's fantastic. Can't get over how good it looks. So as things stand now, we currently have our first rail connection between Boston and Portland, with a doodah coming from the Malane train station, which connects both of these rural businesses, which is a cattle feeder and a logging camp. Now, both of these ports, too many naval games. Two of these cities have the meat production, which is going to be requiring both. Well, this meat can provide for both of these. However, they're going to be in competition with each other, so we'll see what happens with that. But As you can see, we can zoom out. We have got a lot of room to expand. Now we have connection bonuses for sticking these on, which is going to be key. We need to get over to Albany. We've been given some tasks. We've just done the first one, which is to deliver 8 loads of lumber to Boston. Need to do the same with sugar. Then we need to start, well, we're already doing this one, transporting people between Boston and Portland. And then the other one is to reach 25,000 citizens in Boston. Now we can do this by fulfilling the demand. As long as the demand is above 60%, this town will grow. So if we have a look, sugar is one of the things that they want. They also want beverages. Lumber is now fulfilled. So once we've got beer, which is produced in Albany, and sugar here, things will be considerably better. Now these businesses we can also purchase as well. Now we are a man, if I can find it, this man, he is rather fabulous at auctions. So say if it's going to cost $500,000 to purchase a thing, then it will cost 30% less than the final price because he is a dodgy man. We also have the locomotives, which are 60% cheaper, which is massive. Acquiring them is going to be a piece of cake. Somehow, I honestly believe he's getting them from dodgy sources. However, we get 15% less revenue from passengers and mail. Now that's probably because he is a dodgy man. If you look at his face, he does look rather dodgy. This is MoisTea Gaming. This is the man, or I should have called it MoisTea Railroad, but never mind. Maybe in the next one. We need to see about connecting this up. Now, I'm a little bit pedantic about how things roll on here, so we're just going to have to wing it as we go along. And planning is essential. I'm also an absolute cheapskate, and that means I want efficiency as best as possible and to not waste money. So really what we're going to be looking like here is, for the time being, because we don't have that much traffic, just have a two-way system, which everything will go down with some leading bits going onto it. Now we can follow this through and stick a doodah down here. Bit of a triangular roundabout sort of thing. So we can actually connect Albany. Then we can also stick the sugar onto it as well, which will be wonderful for Boston. Well, let's get started with that now. So if we were to build a train station probably around there, I want to try and keep the train station on relatively flat terms, but we also need to think about how we're going to come off of this river. So if we were to go... It's just, where do you cross, really? But if we turn that off... Oh, it's a lot harder to see. But we'll go back on this for a second. We need it so that we can cross relatively easily. Now, this bit here is looking like it might be the answer. Bridges and tunnels, especially tunnels, are extremely expensive. So the less we have, the better off we're going to be. So we're going to have to reduce that as much as possible. So to get the good angle on it, train station I generally want quite nice. We also need to be able to connect up these other bits at some point. Is it worth going at a funny angle like this, perhaps? But well, at some point I want to connect Syracuse, so it might be an idea just to swing this thing around, stick it something like that. We've gone for that now. That'll do. Now, this needs to be connected up. Going to go for a two-way street, and immediately we're just going to go whack it down here and see what happens. This will need to be on the left one, which will be this one. Yeah, because we're going to connect the other one, which is directly next to it, alongside that, which is going to be there. So yes, that is correct. And obviously, we don't... the best route is not the most economical route. We don't want to be digging tunnels through all of this. That is absolutely no. As wonderful as that will be, financially it is bankrupting. We can't actually do it. So we need to get down here somewhere, which we can happily do. So if we just stick that down there for the time being and raise that up. Or maybe even down here. And reduce it slightly. We'll just see what happens with that. I'll show you what I'm doing a little bit more in a moment. And if we go something like that down there, just for the time being, reduce this as much as we can. And we don't want to go into tunneling though. That is the only other problem. We're going to have to stick another dot here. And probably another dot here. With that, we can control the height. Well, so far, that isn't too bad. This maximum speed of 44 miles an hour is a little bit concerning, though. That will be to do with a turn. There you go, that's fixed itself. Just like that. As long as we have full speed, we're good. Ignore this for a moment. I think that will be more to do with that, which it is. If we can just get around here like so without digging any tunnels, we're going to be on for a winner. Now over here, we're relatively in the place where we wanted to be. So if we can bung that around there-ish. We have to stick another dot around about there. And I have to reduce it, but without actually... So that hill is quite concerning. But we'll have to wing it over here. It would be nice if we had a bit of a straight cut out. And then a doodah over this way. Like so. Reduce the height of this. We can channel down. That angle, the angle on this corner is a little bit dodgy, so really it needs to be a little bit more like that. Let's just try and get this nice. There we go, and then that's brought that piece in. We need that to be over there somewhere. Well, that also needs to be increased slightly if possible, because that is rather steep. We can use these contour lines to come about here a little bit, but I don't want to reduce the speed too much. We are going to have to go up this hill and then come back around here. This still is maximum speed, not that our trains can actually go that fast, mind. Which bit is actually causing the kerfuffle here? That is the difficult part. Use that. And we will get there. Why can't that stay where I want it? This one's being a little bit annoying. We'll stick a thing there. It would appear that it's this corner. We could just go for that, 50 miles an hour. Not that we're ever going to get to that speed. Not in the trains that we have. I'll show you the trains shortly. But we just need to get across this bridge without too much cost in pets. There we go. We now have our bridge, which is significantly cheaper. And if you were to have a look at the cost. It was nearly 3 million. We've reduced it by about 90%, or at least 85%. I'm happy with that. If we have a look on how it actually looks, that is not bad at all. But that does actually swerve to the left slightly, which we can live with. And we're going to be streaming down here. This is a gradual downhill. That seems to be a little bit not correct, so not too bad now. See what happens with that. We're actually all a little bit high here. which is fine because we don't really want a big downhill on this. This is just earthworks. I'm happy to play about with earthworks. That is a little bit high as well, so we could reduce that. That makes that a little bit nicer. Overall, this makes everything quite a bit nicer. This is a little bit of a steep one. I think that'll be better overall. I'm going to keep going. It's fine-tuning this now. That's pretty flat, not bad for a bridge. Then over here, this is actually quite a steep incline. We can only go 28 miles an hour on this bit for some reason. But that's better. Small tweaks make everything work. And we go down here. Dig through this bit of a hill. Off we go. Fill this bit of a dip in, probably with stuff that we've got from the hill. Keep going down. And go through this hill, dig that out, and then we are here. Wonderful. Isn't that lovely? Now, I would like to have that a little bit more straight, just the initial blob. Something like that. That's a 4% increase for some reason. That'll do, I think. Let's double check this before we confirm it. See, this has changed again. The speed on this has reduced. This will probably be because it wants a more gradual turn here. Something like that. That will do it. Max, max, max all the way. A little bit of a steep bit, but not too bad. 51 miles an hour. I'll probably live with that. Is it worth having to fiddle around? We just try it, see what happens. Let's see if we can get it. Is that it? Have we done it? They're all on max. Nice. Right, I'll live with that. Absolutely. Let's get that built. That is now built, and we also want the parallel line going to it. Now, because this is a parallel line, you get a massive reduction in the cost. So this overall has probably cost me around nearly 600,000 to build, but it is what it is. We can get Albany involved in this now. And we can also now link this up to New York, which is what this place is, I think. Yep. Because we can build a station right here and come around here, perhaps, and just go blop and blop. That way we'll have a triangle and everyone will be happy. Now, the mission was to get sugar to Boston, so we better link this up immediately. We'll build a station on this now. We can stick that something like... I don't have to build any bridges of any sort, so we'll stick it on this side of it. All of this green area, we can have this. We don't want it to be in the way of any New York doodah neither, though, so we do need to be aware of that. So if we go around here, I'm thinking that way we can actually have the sugar going right and left. Let's see what happens with that. Now we'll go for maybe a little bit back here, just to make things a little bit easier. We'll go for that. Connect this up. We'll have one going... Well, this is going to be... So I live in England, so we drive on the left over here. We're going to be having that, something like that. Get that in. And we're going to have to connect that over here. And then stick it back onto this bit. 44 miles an hour. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do nicely. Then we can do another one over here. Doing the same, but going this way. Now, it doesn't like it. That seems to be a little bit too close. It's not too bothered about this one, though, so that's good. We'll go for 45 miles an hour. We can get 47 out of it. That'll do, and then we can stick the other one like that. 48, that's fine, and then something like that. 38 seems to be the limit that we can get for that one, which is absolutely wonderful. So now we have this bit of a T-junction on there. Just pretend it's a motorway junction and everybody's going to be happy. Going to want to have the line directions sorted now, so you can direct which side of the road people drive on. And now it always does it the wrong way round, because this game was not built by British people, I don't think. We always drive on the left over here. So these want to be going that way and that way. Like so. Same here. Now, if you're not too sure what's going on, I'll just explain it again in a moment. Like so. Rightio. So this is a train track, as you can see. Trains will go on it, but obviously a train can only go on one way or the other. So we want them all to go left, well, this way on the left-hand line. And this way, again, because we drive on the left. So it all links in and works. So that looks like that's going to be fine. Now, also we need to stick in some supply towers. These will feed the trains with water, sand, and oil, which is absolutely vital to operations. Now, also to save more money, I'm going to want to have one that will do all of these, which would be marvellous. So, if I was to stick a train around, not a train, a supply tower on this section of track, that will get all the trains that go in between them. So I'll bang it right in the middle, so that'll do that. Eventually we're going to have trains going from Portland to Boston and then to Albany. And then we also need some coming from the sugar bit. So we'll stick one down here in between these. That way the train with the sugar can easily get to Boston and back without melting. Nice. We also need to set up a rail line, so now we can have it from there to Boston. Why would you go all the way down there and then back? I don't want you to do that. That might be an issue. Oh, I've not stuck them things in, have I? I need a guardian doodah. These allow your trains to cross between the two things. Gonna need one up in Portland if I've not. Oh, I did do that one, so that is good. We don't need them in over here because it all links into one track line anyway, but we do want one over here just so I don't forget. And then see if we can do it. Yes, we can. So when we first clicked this, it wanted to go all the way up here to turn around, which is a no-no. Can't be wasting that much time. So now we're going to have it from there to there, straight back. Lovely. I'm going to call this just Iman Station. Oh, it's disappeared on me. Try again. Iman Station. Like that. Just so we know what it is and where it's going. I'm going to have one train doing this, if it lets me. Need to stick a locomotive in there. We're going to go for the John Bull. We've only got two examples, the Grasshopper and the John Bull. If you look at the stats, the Grasshopper is just naff. John Bull is nearly twice the price, but you have just over 25% more speed. Tractive power is better, which is good for carrying weight up hills. It isn't as reliable, it does require more maintenance costs, and it's not as popular neither. But it's better getting there and it pulls more, so we'll go for that. Stick one of them in. Happy days. That train will appear as soon as I press the play button, which it has. There it is. In there somewhere. There we go. This will be Another one of these trains. I now have 4. This is the 4th, and it shows you at the front of the train, which is a very nice added touch. This is going to load up with sugar. You can even see everything in there working nicely. To say it's a brand new train now, I'm not too keen on the paintwork here. Bits of it are missing. That isn't ideal, it's barely even got here. It's been abused straight away from the rail line. Don't like that. Yeah, well look, we're actually grabbing all of that sugar down there now. Like so, we need a full load. All of that. That's going to really do it in. Don't know how well this is going to pull, but it's going to try. Are we off? Off we go. Seems a little bit more sluggish now, but it is going. Oh, Boston and Albany Railroad, full steam ahead. We have managed to do a John Bull reach 21 miles an hour, which is the fastest locomotive. It's that fast, the picture's even blurry. It must be gloriously quick. And while that's happening, you can see all of our digging has been rather effective. It's already full of weeds, but I suppose this is the open country in America. We're only managing to do 12 miles an hour currently, but it is a full load. So what do you expect? It's a slight uphill. I'd like to think we can get a little bit more out of it. Nothing coming, so we're all good. Let's go, go, go. 10 miles an hour. Come on, speed up. We're on a bit more of a flat now, so we are going 14 miles an hour, 15. Not bad for a fully loaded train in 1830. Not bad at all. This will actually finish one of the missions that we've done. Oh, we really did build this high up, didn't we? It's not... If you fell down there, you would be dead. That is that. Absolutely. Here we go. I love the smoke effects of the steam train going forward there. For some reason, these men aren't actually sticking any wood in. Oh, it's wood. It's not even coal. It's wood. Interesting. Not even coal-fired. I thought it would have been. Slowing down a bit here. Not entirely sure why. There is... Oh, it might just be a bit of a steeper bit. But that is the supply depot in the distance. Don't know if you'll be able to make it out, but we are getting there. This will fill it up with water, sand, and oil to give this a bit of a lubrication. I do think we are just struggling to get up this slight hill, though. It is a fully loaded train. As time goes on... Oh no, we're just passing by. Yeah, that was a bit of a hill. We should be alright coming a little bit more downwards. As time goes on, this track will get busier. And when that happens, I will have to separate the express trains, which is for mail and passengers, from the freight. The freight is always generally slower, but you only get paid per payment, per cargo shifted. So it'll cost maybe, what, $1,000 to move one of these cartloads up to wherever. Oh, there's a deer there. Whereas the passengers and mail is based on speed. So if you can get your passengers and mail there at lightning speed, as fast as that blurry image you saw not too long ago, then we are going to get more money for doing it. But currently we've just started, so we're not that bothered. You're not going to get it much faster. You're really not. We've only got 2 freight trains. Well, dedicated freight trains, really. From the rural businesses to the train stations. That is the other freight train. Full of cows. Which is all going to be used to be chopped up into meat. As you can see, we have just rummaged our way all the way over here to Boston, which was a nice journey.
Great. My
Here we
company
go.
owes you.
Yes, it does. That's another task completed. The other task of transporting 320 passengers without changing trains from Boston to Portland. I don't see how you would change trains between there, because it's going to be from between there and there. But it is what it is. We're just going to keep that running, and then the next task after that, which is, we've got a year and a half to do it, is to reach 25,000 citizens in Boston. So to do that, we need to grow the town, which we can do by providing it with lots of things. Now, we've just dumped a load of sugar here, which will increase the fulfillment of demand, which is wonderful. What else we need to do, however, is give it some of the others. So beer, for example, is going to be a nice juicy one that we can do. Corn, I don't think we have any around here for the time being. It wouldn't appear so. If it is, then we're going to have to transport it from a million... Oh, it's down here. So that is quite a while away. That might be a case of getting some warehouses built, which you could store these in. But we'll see. The grain, we can grab it from Edison Farm, which is also going to be being eaten from Albany in the creation of beverages. So we better make sure we get on with that. Other things that you can do is you can purchase these properties, which might be an idea, especially the ones that are going to get used a lot. We also need to make sure that our trains are running marvellously. So to do that, we're going to need to make sure we have maintenance depots in them. Currently got one in Boston, which is fabulous. It will do all the ones from Milan, Boston, going to and from Boston, and it will also do the one from here. However, that means trains are going to be sat there for a bit of time, so as time goes on, we're going to want to spread them about a bit so they're not all sat in Boston, slowing everything down. Thankfully, there's not much traffic at this moment in time, so it isn't really an issue. This is more meat, full of... Wow, there's a lot of meat here. And this is the other train, which is happily sneaking in, which is the to and from train. Oh, this is going to get unloaded and sorted, and that's just going to go on its merry way shortly. That's why we have these connection things in. Can't remember what you call them, but they will utilise all the different bits that you give them. Meaning if one is on maintenance here, which it looks like this train may well be, the other line can still be used. So it's not too bad. What I'm thinking of doing now is going from Portland to Boston to Albany. We've got this train line sorted, so we might as well utilise it. We're going to need more trains. We could just edit this one, which goes from Boston to Portland, add this stop to it, and bung another couple of trains in. That will sort everything out marvellously. We may need another supply depot, maybe down here, because that is quite a distance to go without needing supplies. The lower the supplies, the slower they go, and the more troublesome they become. So we'll stick it on there. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be on the slope. No, that might be a bad idea. I might get rid of that. Where's the bulldozer? Get rid of that. 30,000. Now that's not bad. We've got all our money back, so that easy mistake is now fixed. We can bung it right here before the slope. That should alleviate the pressure on anything heavy going up that way. Breakdown. Maintenance needed. Why are you broken down already? Absolute shocking. It's only at... We're going to have to increase the maintenance thing. So here, if you have a look, the maintenance depot, maintenance limit, this will be what degree before he starts maintaining it. So really, we're going to want to stick it higher. Transfers the maintenance limit here. Yeah, we're going to want that to higher, simply because when the trains get a little bit low like this, they tend to break down, and they are not the most reliable things as it is. So every time a train gets to Boston, we're going to actually, hopefully, if it needs anything doing to it, getting it fixed. It's going to have to be the way forward, because I can't be having trains breaking down left, right and centre. There's a lot of meat coming into this town, I'll tell you that. This may actually be worth purchasing. We are probably going to be getting a lot of money from that. It is going to be expensive, but it is often worth the investment, especially if we actually keep these utilised. The logging one is all over the place, so we're not too bothered about that. We won't make our money back, but we do want to make a profit, and we've got plenty of time to do this. So that's going to keep going on. We've got 10 months to do that. We might as well keep going, but we'll get Albany involved also. May even purchase this meat one first. I really want to buy it when it's low down on the optimization for a long time, but that isn't going to happen, I don't think. Well, we're not paused, are we? No, we're not. See if it goes down, we can potentially get a bargain, because that will eat into a lot of our money already. We're earning around $10,000. Oh, that's got up. $14,000 a week. It keeps going up and down all the time. Oh, nice, that's just plummeted. So that has already reduced the price by around 100,000. Let's wait another 7 days and see if we can get that for a bargain. This is at full utilization. I honestly believe this will start going down. Oh, issues with production. Ooh, that might be a good time to... Oh, now it's up and running again. Might be worth grabbing it. Do I grab it now or do I just wait? Production stopped. How is production stopped? Have they run out of meat? Oh, they have. They've ran out. Right, so we can influence this, you see. They ran out of meat. The operation goes down, and we can grab it for cheaper. That sounds like a plan. We can actually influence this to quite a degree, but it is now actually running again. Let's see what happens. Don't see how they've got some, but they have. Alright, so it's gone up again, but overall the utilization has dropped dramatically. So what I may do is influence it so that we get around $500,000 off the price of this. Because I don't want to be shipping these goods around if we don't need to. So what I'm going to do to influence the price of this, yes, we may end up losing some money. Or do we even really need to? These are going to get full. Simple as. They've got plenty of cows there. And the export warehouse is full, so it's only going to really slow down. Now here, how are we looking here? See, that is already drastically reduced. The export warehouse is full. Yeah, so they're not going to be making anything really, so we can keep that low. We should be good. Just keep it happy and flowing. We'll buy that in a little while. This meat one, we would like to get that reduced. We're going to stagnate the market by just flooding it. The price of everything should reduce. That has actually just gone up in price, which is ridiculous. Not in price, the utilization. So that's going to romp right up. I might actually just grab that now while I can, before it goes too mental. Because it's just upgraded to level 3, we're not going to be getting as much done with it. Now we just need to wait for these to die down. We own that business now. This one is all over the place. I don't think there is enough. Is it full? We're not going to use that. This is per week. So they're going to use around 1 log every 3 weeks. So it's already properly full. As you can see over here, it's down a little bit, but there's not enough demand for the lumber, so I'm not going to be bothering to buy that. Yeah, that's gone right back up again, but overall it is more reduced. They've got plenty of cows here. The export is still full, so we'll wait a little while before we attempt to purchase that. Now this sugar one, we're not going to be using that much sugar either. Have you look, we're only going to be using 0.2, which is not very much at all. So that is going to stagnate as well. Now, that would be perfect for buying it. That's wonderful. But if we buy it while it's like this, we're going to end up actually losing money on it. So we don't want to do that. And what we really need to do is once there's enough demand for sugar, then buy it and then use it to feed it to everybody. At the moment, we're just feeding it to Boston just because of the mission, and we wanted the utilization of this sorted. This is set up ready to go. This sugar can supply all of these. May even end up supplying it with sugar from down here, but we'll see. It may end up using the sugar which is over here to just go down this way and such with it. We're going to have to figure it all out. This sugar one up here, we could eventually buy that as well. Oh, we need to get that connected. Which could do Portland, Bangor, Quebec City and Montreal. And I don't think there's any more sugar anywhere, which we can eventually move it over to Ottawa as well. There's no more sugar anywhere. Oh, there's some down here which will do these cities. But we've just got to think about moving it. Now, the more we supply these with people, well, with things, the more demand that there's going to be. So eventually it just grows and grows and grows and grows. The more people there are, the more things are demanded. For example, all of these goods down here. So fruits aren't wanted until there's 45,000 people in there. But there is a fruits farm here, so no one's going to want it. If I wanted to buy that now, it'd be next to nothing. But when these actually do grow, they're going to want this eventually. So just before that happens, we want to grab it and then stick it in everywhere. Because that is what should happen. As you can see with this one, the price is quite a bit lower, as it's stagnated. It's the same level as this, but because this is somehow a little bit higher in general, it is actually more expensive, around $200,000 more expensive, just because of the utilization. So we will just keep them stagnated, or at least overflowed. We need to connect Bangor, so we'll have a look at that. They also produce cloth. Portland, do you want cloth? Yes, you do. Not too much of it, though, so that's not too much of a worry. I don't think it'll be worth purchasing just yet. That will be a future one as the town grows. But first of all, we do need to get a station built here. We'll follow it on and just stick it on to the end of that. Ooh, I'm turning this around. Let's look at the contours again. Bangor is in a bit of a dip, so it's probably going to get flooded, but whoever placed it there is a little bit of a lemon, but we can go like that and see what happens. We do want this to be connected to that. Let's have a look. Not too bad. We just need to eradicate this little bit of a tunnelage, like so. There's a fair bit of money going into earthworks with that. That needs tweaking because for some reason we can't go faster than anything decent. Well, that's not too bad. I want this to be fairly straight coming out. I mean, that's off on one, but oh, there you go. But can I like to get that straight, and then over here I want to do the same. Something like that. That will do. And then everybody is happy. So that's good. I'm happy with that. Earthworks to dig through all of this is a little bit expensive, but that is more than worth it. Earthworks are generally quite cheap in general. What is that? Try and reduce that. That will be wonderful. Stops it being a steep gradient going out. Get that done. We want a parallel one, so we can go for that there. For some reason, it's only 20 miles an hour. Are you absolutely mad? Oh no, I clicked the wrong button. Why is that only 20 miles an hour? What's going on here? Oh, there we go. It's fixed. I think it's just having a minor meltdown. It's something over here. This part. Apparently it doesn't like this bit here. So what I'm actually going to do, just get rid of that and destroy a certain section of this. Maybe even a little bit further back. Now that'll do. Go bang with it. Like so. You get your money back, so it's not a worry. Build it back in. Stick another doodah on here. And again, it doesn't like it. Why not? Which section does it not like? Is it this? No. It's going to be down here again, isn't it? It would appear to be. Well, how am I supposed to fix this bit? That just isn't fair. What I'm going to do again is destroy a certain section of it. Get rid of that and go again with that and see what happens. Try and go for another one of these. And now we're happy. There we go. Excellent. Now, station platforms cost you 50,000 each. That is another line on the station, so we do need to be wary of building too many of them because that costs money, and I like to keep hold of money because I'm a tight ass. We need to stick one of these in a cross lane doodah, like so. We need to do the same over here, like that. We also need to dictate which way is correct, and because I'm British, obviously that way is correct. Absolutely, we drive on the left. I'm going to keep it that way. All of that is happy. We could do with a maintenance depot. May bung one in Bangor. Just because there's going to be lots of things coming to Bangor, all of these different industries. So it's a future investment, and it's all the way up here, which will provide maintenance to the Albany to Boston to Bangor train line, which is going to be happening at some point. So we'll stick that in. It's going to cost 80,000, which is half a leg, but it is definitely worth it. So get that in. Now we just need to set the train on it. Now we can actually stick this all the way from Bangor to Albany. I do want to have a look at getting that beer before it goes absolutely mental. It's currently at full utilization, so that is not ideal actually. Who's grabbed some of that, or is it just slowly building it? Yeah, so we might just have to wait on the beer, get that slowly build up and just ignore it. We could do the same over here. Not purposely not move meat around. So let's find our train. We've got the Boston Portland, which is that. That's all that does. Now I've put an M in front of it because that is going to be mixed. So mixed with freight and express. So that's going to be the way that I sort that out. Sticking these around further is going to drastically improve the cash as well. So if we go for a edit, get rid of, where have you gone? Edit train line, get rid of that, get rid of that. We can literally go from Bangor, Portland, Boston, Albany, and then all the way back to Boston, Portland, Bangor. Now we have meat available in Boston and Portland. So we're going to turn that off to ignore. Beer in Albany we're going to turn off as well. We're going to do the same with Bangor Cotton as well, just because I want to buy those buildings. And until then, it's going to be turned off. Oh, I need to do it for here as well. We want to buy these, that is for sure. The sugar thing I may end up buying. We'll see what we can get hold of. Let's just stick with what? 37 days to do the full duration. People will probably wait a week for passengers. But we're talking, and that's just over a bit of that. So we're going to go for 5 trains. That's just under a week per train, per station. That's what we want. Trains are stupidly expensive because we must buy stolen trains. We're going to go for that for now. Have a dabble. That's going to take a little while to implement. Boston Albany Railroad cannot be stopped. Yes, we have just increased our rail length to over 779 miles. That ain't bad. Now, another thing we definitely need to think about is these. Now, see, we've bought this because it's a full what's it. We're getting a lot of money per week from just this building. This is why I want to reduce the cost of these. Currently at 813 still. I don't think it's going to go down. We may just have to buy it and move the meat from Boston around. I may even purchase the one from Boston, ship the meat around from Boston into other areas, and then that will be much more utilized. That sounds wonderful. But we're going to have another dip because production is full. Albany, you produce lots of beer. We're going to have to wait for that. The sugar thing. Oh, we got a bonus connection for something. Don't know quite which one. What's happened here? Train completed. Last tour without freight. Are you mad? Now, is that because it's full, or is that... Oh, that's because it's full. Right, so we really want to be buying this sugar. Because once we do that, we can see if we can actually ship it to all of these. We need a warehouse in Boston. That is for sure. Let's get that done. Where have you gone? If we build a warehouse... Oh, we don't have one yet. Research! Research is the thing. Currently have 320 innovation points. And I would like a warehouse which will allow you to move goods around. Like so. Oh, wait up. Quarterly balance. Do we want to have a look? We'll look at that later. Go away. Where have you gone? Get off. There we go. If we were to stick a warehouse in Boston, we could set it so that sugar can be plopped to there. And then any train moving along this lot will then be able to use that sugar, transport it to any of these businesses, which is marvellous. So let's do that. We can then actually start making money off this Amon station because they will need the sugar. Might even build a warehouse and just see how much it will actually be utilised. Because we can always just cut it off and let it build up again. We'll go for the warehouse. Bang, there it is. We'll stick sugar in it. It will do it on its own. We don't need to interfere. So all the sugar from Ema Station is now actually going to go to Boston, filled up, and then be driven around to all these other places. The price of this meat factory is going down further. Now it's down to 709, which is perfect. This one is really down. That's down to 440. That's a level 1 as well. What we can do... Well, eventually we're going to buy both. But we will just prioritise the meat from Boston and supply it to everywhere. That way, the Portland one will become really cheap. But as time goes on, we're going to want to have the meat from Boston coming south and the meat from Portland going north and northwest. And see what happens then. On that note, I do believe it's probably been over half an hour. I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you have enjoyed yourselves. I do enjoy this game, and I hope you enjoy it watching me play it. Do leave a comment on your thoughts. There's plenty of things that I could have done different. Let me know your opinions. I will take them all in. And I hope to see you in the next video, which should be on in the next day. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.